Oh, YouTube.
Well, YouTube, what are you doing to us? Okay, so here's the thing. I tried to... Oh, God, there it goes. Always has to happen.
I had it muted, too.
Always has to happen.
I thought I did.
So, all right. I've tried to... I tried to just... YouTube has had the YouTube Live Studio for a while now, but now they've taken away certain features of the old live streaming way, and we're pretty much now being forced to use this, and we're still like in the midst of growing pains because now Nick is not allowed to use the chat through Streamlabs anymore, and instead has to go directly through YouTube to type comments in now and can't just stay on one unified screen.
Yes, Nick.
Until the next
you shouldn't have been a naughty
Until
boy,
next
Nick.
update, indeed.
Which is
yeah. So
yeah, I'm like you. Why wasn't there a beta for this? Like, version.
It's a lot like
beta, you know?
it's a lot like how YouTube Studio beta is now is very slowly being phased in, is going to be the norm now. Whereas Creator Studio Classic, which everyone's known for the last 3 or 4 years, is just going to be phased out entirely. And while there's some stuff in the new beta that I do like, the fact that the count of your count of how many subscribers you have, an accurate count of how many subscribers you have, isn't even available on the dashboard. You got to go in and click the icon at the top and bring it down to where you're going to like change channels in order to see your official number. Social Blade's able to do this, YouTube. Why can't you? Jesus Christ. And then of course there's also the end card stuff, which used to be point and click, very easy to pull off in a lot of in Creator Studio Classic, but now in beta, it's this whole rigorous process where you got to go back. You got to go into YouTube Studio Beta, go to the video you want to do it to, click in cards, and then it reopens the old program in YouTube Creator Studio Classic. I am not making this shit up, by the way.
Like I said,
and you have to implement everything in piece by piece, and they took out to where you can just go from a previous video. It is so fucking ridiculous. I hate it.
I have a similar rant. I'm gonna get a lot of chewing for this probably, but I feel the same fucking way about Xbox. Yeah, from the original Xbox up to the Xbox One.
You don't gotta say nothing. Truth is, until Phil Spencer took over, I had a lot of issues with Xbox. Ever since Phil Spencer's taken over now, he's rectified a lot of things, but the damage has already been done. Yeah. At that point.
Well, my thing is, it's kind of like.
Oh, Nate, you fucked up something else.
What did I fuck up?
You didn't change the donation link. Or if you
$1, Christ.
I just got a $1 donation and no meme to play.
Oops.
Don't send donations to the link that's in there. I have to change it.
Sorry.
Hang on.
Once again, thanks.
Growing
thanks,
pains.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Growing pains.
Honestly, like I said, dude, I think YouTube is...
Send your meme on Discord to Visarctus, Renegade, Nick, and a DM so I can play it on here.
Hold on. Let me fix this shit.
Like I said, I think YouTube is desperate to go out of business, or just like fucking infuriate people so much that they just fucking throw their hands up. Fuck it, I'm gonna create my own.
At one point in time, when I guess Twitch streaming was just becoming a thing, and I was on YouTube, and I loved YouTube. I mean, it had everything I could want and more, nice and organized. Well, then I start seeing more of these streamers, the gaming streaming thing, taking up all the content, and I'm like, wait a minute, wasn't these guys on Twitch? Well, they ran from Twitch to YouTube, and now they run back to Twitch, and now they're running to Mixer, and now I mean, it's like everybody's battling out of which service is the best, and they're constantly changing, and I don't see how anybody can keep up with that many streams,
Yeah, okay.
Streams
so
that much.
if you want to make a donation, refresh the stream. And it should be in the description now. Sorry about that.
The thing is, though, Mixer and Twitch, they're specific to the game streaming. There's no good equivalent to YouTube out there.
No, there isn't.
And I think when those people, the Twitch streamers and game streamers, start taking their game streams to YouTube, I mean, you had to start segregating and section off so many different categories because they started getting flooded with video game content. I can't tell you how many important ideas. Like, I've literally went into history of the pioneers in East Tennessee, and it's literally a kid playing Call of Duty, talking the whole time about it.
Yeah.
And the video is like an hour and 20 minutes long. You know, I got to think, I'm like, how much bandwidth does this take up or for on YouTube servers? You know, and well, there are billions of these type of videos uploaded all the time. And they're not just on YouTube. Now they're on Twitch mixture. But at one time, they went from the game community. And it was just, everybody's everywhere now, man. I don't even know. Somebody asked me, actually, a lot of people ask me, what's the best streaming service you think right now? I'm like, I have no idea. I really have no idea. I mean, I guess it depends on what your goal is, you know. Are you trying to make money, or are you trying to, you know?
I just know if I get into the streaming, I'm just going to go to Mixer. So.
Mixer's where I'm probably going to go.
That got sent to me is an easy one to redo.
Go ahead. Oh, no. Let's see what we got. Here, let me move my big-ass head out the way so you can...
Hey, give me just a second. I got to go get it.
Ah, okay.
With my eyes, I'm probably just better off looking at this one.
My thing is, if I'm going to stream anything, it'd probably be guitar. Just basically just guitar.
You playing
all
guitar?
day.
Can you do that like on Mixer and stuff? Can you do like different?
Yeah, you can do. There's people who do live stream like jam
like
sessions
classes,
and
like
stuff
education kind of
Yeah,
stuff. Or,
yeah, they do that. They do that all the time.
Matthew Heafy from Trivium, he streams most of his practices live. Oh, there we go.
Here it is.
Hello, old
It's
chum.
dusk.
I'm not a gnolf. I'm not a gnoblin.
It's become a tradition.
It's required. Gotta get it at least once in. I'm assuming that was dusk there, Nick.
Perfect timing on that
That would have
notification.
been pretty
Yeah,
fun.
ended it up
The
pretty
gnome
good.
had run off. Fucking need to see him fucking slamming his shit.
Yeah,
We got two more after that.
go
Alright.
for it.
Okay, this one's Freelancer Dan.
Oh,
Freelancer
Freelancer Dan, at it
Dan.
again.
Lieutenant Dan.
All right, guys, let's get the Chaos Emeralds and
Oh, this is-
Robotnik in the ass. Where are the Chaos Emeralds? They're a bunch of colors, and they turn me into a Super Saiyan.
Wait, what?
It's true. I heard the first Chaos Emerald is
Oh,
at
no.
the top of the Ferris wheel, and that's where I'm going. I'm gonna ride to the tippy top. I'm getting the first Chaos Emerald on this extremely slow Ferris wheel.
No, not on my watch.
It's killing me inside just being here. It's so fucking slow.
Get the Chaos Emerald, Sonic. Sonic's one weakness. Slowness.
Oh yeah, I just got to the top of the Ferris wheel. I'm gonna say a part of this story is I just got the first Chaos Emerald.
Oh, curse you.
It's the green one.
Those Chaos Emeralds
Sure.
will be mine. That's the time,
Never.
Sonic, who are you gonna sacrifice for the soul emerald?
Don't worry about it. Just walk in the direction I tell you to.
You can kill me.
Don't
It's
look
okay.
down. Sonic needs a fucking
Kill me,
eat
it's
back.
okay.
Baby. How would you
I'm gonna hop in. I'm gonna slide into Amy if you know what I mean.
I don't get that reference.
Whoa. Dick.
What the HE double chili dogs?
Got a slide Sonic, you don't have one.
I'm too young for that kind of talk.
Bitch, you drunk?
Yes!
Amy, I say this because I love plowing you, but you need to go back to rehab.
Got him.
Sonic, you're a farmer?
Don't make me go to rehab, and I say no.
I'm always
Thank
plowing
you, Amy
sprouts.
Winehouse.
Was this?
Hey,
This
give me
wasn't a
your emerald.
GTA.
Yes, it
Well,
was.
All
Okay,
right,
yeah.
I got it.
We have 3 of the emeralds. Where's the 4th one,
That's
Sonic?
whoever you decide it is.
I'm pretty sure I saw one on top of the Maze Bank building. I'm pretty sure they're all on top of the bank together.
Oh, 3 of them. Oh, someone else collected them and it.
So here's the thing.
Good lord.
Little bit of context provided with that short there. That was they were playing Grand Theft Auto online, and they thought, hey, you know what would be funny if we made a better Sonic movie from this Let's Play than the actual Sonic movie that was going to be coming out. And it honestly, it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen because they all dress up the best they can in the characters that they're playing. And then Jeremy arrives as Robotnik, and I swear to God, he looks just like how Jim Carrey did in the trailer, with the bald head, the big friggin' ugly ass mustache, and he's like, "Curse you, hedgehogs! I'm gonna blow you up!" And then all of a sudden, Ryan walks up with a magnum and just just shoots Robotnik in the head, blows his head off, and he dies. And he's just like, "I'll be back, hedgehogs!" And Ryan's just like, "There, that's how you deal with Robotnik. If he comes back, I'll just shoot him in the head again." "No, you won't. I'll blow you up with my new technologies."
What's kind of Strange. So they delayed that movie by like how much? Like a couple months or something?
Actually about 6 months. 6 months to a
that,
year.
That
So
seems
they're-
yeah. That makes more sense because like when I first heard that, like, we're just delaying it by a couple months. That didn't click with me because that's all animated and everything, and a big portion. Even if you could use all of the animation and everything, you just replace the character. The rendering is a massive time.
Well, it's not even just that.
user.
Not just the animation too. It's the color correction that goes involved with the animation to make it.
So
seem
actually, they
fluent.
don't have a current release date for it. The original release date was going to be the 14th of February next year, but they're saying that oh wait, no, it was scheduled for release in November, but they pushed it back 4 months. But all their work since then has been dedicated to going into redesigning Sonic, which
all hands on deck.
That's
hire legendary pictures. Get over here right now. We need.
And then all of a sudden, Guillermo they hire like a bunch of people from like Guillermo del Toro's workshop. They're just like, we need you to redesign him for us. It's like, okay, so do you want him to look more like the original? Yes and no. You're giving off mixed signals here, man. What do you want? It's like, we don't freaking know.
I mean, like,
we're a movie studio. We don't know what kids like.
And all the time that I've been doing animation, I've always known that rendering is just a fucking tedious process. But
dude,
it didn't really
video editing.
It didn't really.
That's the longest form.
And so, like, I was watching some of the behind the scenes of Gravity, or whatever. And they were talking about like just like the International Space Station scene when Sandra Bullock is like trying to use the Soyuz module, and like the ISS gets destroyed. That scene, I think it was like maybe 5 minutes long, whatever, took a year to render.
Yes.
It just, I mean, it's absolutely fucking crazy.
The thing is, Alfonso Cuarón and Emmanuel Lubezki, the director and the cinematographer, had their vision of what they wanted to do, and the majority of that film, especially that opening scene, I think the opening 2 or 3 minutes is just one big, gigantic, long take.
Mm-hmm. And that was what was fucking cool. Like the first 12 or 14 minutes.
Oh yeah, it was just this huge experience. I actually went and watched it at Tinseltown with my mom in 3D. and here's the thing. We sat right where the vision line of the screen is, like right here at the edge of your vision line.
Fucking debris is heading straight at you.
Yeah, and it was just like, and my mom, when we walked out of there, my mom was just, it was like a religious experience for her almost. She was just like, that was amazing.
Yeah.
I'd never seen anything like that. And I'm like,
That's how it
when
was.
3D's done right, man, it works.
That's how I felt on Avatar when I saw it in 3D. It melted my brain for a good day and a half. Like I literally I called up like every friend I had that I thought would be interested in going back to the movies, and I brought a group of friends back, and I was like, "You have to watch this." Shit.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it 6 times in theaters.
Oh yeah, Avatar. I've seen it 4.
3 or 4 times.
I still say, but the thing that I want, if there's anything that I have a complaint about Avatar, I mean, I know people bitch about. It's just Dances with Wolves or whatever, which if you're going to go with that argument, then don't fucking like The Last Samurai because it's the same fucking plot. But
okay, look, stories are borrowed throughout history. I mean, you look,
You're never gonna get it.
You know that everyone wants to, suck Shakespeare off over Hamlet. Hamlet is literally almost word for word, verbatim, a copy of a Greek tragedy. And who knows where they got it from the Greek tragedy? There is nothing that's original anymore.
No.
As long as, for instance, How to Train Your Dragon, the first one especially, loved it. Great. It's probably, in terms of 3D, it's one of the most spellbinding films I've ever seen. And I'm glad I watched it in 3D. But the thing is, it's a story that's been told 1,000 times. It's like, boy cannot impress his father. Father is disappointed in him. Boy finally finds a way to impress father. Winds up breaking all the father's rules and then hiding a pet from his father. Father finds out, gets disappointed. Liar revealed storyline. Holy crap, it's every cliche in the friggin' world.
Point of no return, and then your
redemption.
Climactic intro, outro, and or cliffhanger if you want.
Yeah,
but,
and then the redemption.
Well, the thing about it is, it's all 6-step story structure.
Yes.
We even teach this in film school and everything. We have to write and we have to highlight those points. And it doesn't matter what your story is. If you highlight all those points, you have a movie.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
you got a movie that's got a beginning, middle, everything that you need.
And the thing that bugged me is that so many people were just like, saying, "Oh my gosh, oh this and that, I love it, I love it." And I'm like, I love it too, but let's be honest here. It's a basic story retelling. It's just the reason why it works is the characters are good, the animation is good, the story is amazing.
Yeah, are you talking about for Avatar?
Huh?
Avatar, right?
No, I was talking about
movies.
I was talking about
okay.
I was referring to How to Train Your Dragon because it has such a stereotypical storyline.
And
Like,
his name is John Cena.
wow, what was that one?
That was Loving Kitsune with a $50 donation.
Hey, thank you,
Thank you,
Kitsune.
Kitsune.
Thank you, Kitsune. That's awesome.
Going back to the Avatar thing, the one thing that kind of annoyed me was that Avatar was so successful, so every fucking movie company and their mom wanted to make every movie they could be in 3D when it didn't need to be.
God,
every movie they had, they had some 3D equivalent of
Just
whatever.
to tack on the extra $3.
And some work like Gravity.
Yes.
And ones where it's visually designed to do that.
Yeah, from the ground up in 3D.
Yeah, but if you're just going to go out there and add an extra red on there to make it 3D,
that's
it's completely pointless.
Yeah,
and that's what happened a lot of times. I've seen Toy Story 3, I believe it was, in 3D, and that movie had I'm shit you not, like 2 whole scenes in it where it actually did anything with the 3D, and it's usually something extravagant and cheesy, like the ball coming at you or something like that.
And thankfully, I think it's started to wear off.
It's effectively ran its course.
Yeah.
I think it was around 2014, 2015 where people stopped going to 3D films as much, and they stopped releasing a 3D option for most films, and now the main ones that do have 3D are like the bigger budget ones that can afford.
Like
that can
Endgame,
afford
I think I saw Endgame.
It had 3D.
Did it?
It had 3D option. Which
3D.
here's the thing: there's filmed in 3D, and then there's converted to 3D.
Yeah.
You see, most films that are big budget like that and can afford to put out a 3D version, they're converted.
Yeah.
Whereas films like Hugo, have you seen Hugo, by the way?
I've not.
It's one of Martin Scorsese's best films, and it's his only film that he ever made in 3D.
Really?
And his thing is, he actually wanted to find ways to film it to where the 3D would benefit, and he found it. And it is such a brilliant film. It talks about the origins of film in France. It talks about where the first film cameras came from, automatons and like magic and all that.
Everybody
fun
was using
stuff.
French film because Edison had he had patented on American film, and so basically everybody was getting their stuff from France and everything.
Yeah,
and he was even sending people to crash film sets, like literally walk in and shoot up a film set and stuff. Didn't kill anybody.
No, but wanted to damage the goods, so they couldn't
and I think there was a couple of people who died in the fires and stuff like that. Stage fires, all because they were using his film, and the government didn't stop. They said they couldn't do anything because the copyrights in France is imported, and so he went out of his own way to try to trash stuff, and that's why they moved west out of Hollywood. They went to New York City. Well, actually, the trains were the transportation again, so they sent people right to New York. Then they went down to Orlando, and then guess what? They followed them to Orlando. But you know where they moved to finally? Hollywood.
No.
Yep, because it was right underneath his nose.
And there was a law. There were laws in California where they could not, where the state could not enforce copyright laws within certain economic areas.
There was a lot of
it's a lot like the Paradise situation in Nevada. You see, the Las Vegas that we know is not actually Las Vegas. Turns out the Vegas that we know, the Las Vegas Strip, is actually Paradise, Nevada, and it's because Paradise, Nevada is a special economic area where gambling is 100% allowed. Same thing in Hollywood. Back in the day, the patent and copyright laws were not in effect there. Oh boy, how things have changed.
The history of film actually has a really dark history.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it's a lot
especially when you look back on where the origins of where film cameras came from. The Lumiere brothers, who actually invented one of the first like reel-to-reel operated cameras. They actually thought films were just a fad and nobody would pay attention to them, so they sold literally everything off and didn't keep any of the patents or anything like that. And neither of them went on to have any success, and they both killed themselves.
Yeah.
And
It wasn't until the launch of
the
the Super 8, the first affordable handheld cameras, that you started really getting a lot more independent filmmakers came out there. Because it used to be, in order to be a filmmaker, you had to live in Hollywood because that's the only place they sold those cameras. And getting one out was kind of a pain in the rear. And plus, they costed almost as much as a Model T.
Yes.
Like, I mean, it was.
What is nice to see
expensive.
that just how many people now can afford cinematic style cameras,
Oh,
how it's completely deteriorating, like the Hollywood structure and stuff.
Oh yeah, and then you have second comings of films of cities that embrace filmmaking.
Yeah.
For instance, a big one that we have here in the American South, Atlanta. Atlanta is a huge hotbed for a lot of filming. Chicago had their time in the late 2000s, early 2010s with the filming of The Dark Knight. And then Pittsburgh actually had their time with...
Nashville, Tennessee's got a huge one, too.
Nashville's rising, but I'm hoping they keep it up, because if they keep it up, they could eventually get as big as Atlanta.
A lot of people do flee to a lot of the Nashville studios because we're non-union here.
Yeah.
And where we're non-union, we can have non-union people or union people. It doesn't matter. And because Tennessee doesn't abide by those laws. I mean, we do have to fill out a form for them, saying they give consent and everything.
Yeah,
like
they
that.
got to have their bureaucratic paperwork and all
but
that.
the guild can't do nothing about it unless they just choose not to. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
But overall, okay. All this talk about film and everything actually has me excited for several reasons. Couple of film projects that we've been working on, especially this guy here. He's
brewing.
Yeah, they're brewing and they're stewing, and there's also one that I've been working on for a long time. As a matter of fact, what you see down there in the corner of the video, the remnant pre-production thing, trying to save up as much money as we can for our pre-production thing, and we are bringing Wyndham in to play the lead, and we actually have Micah cast as one of the characters, and we're trying to do our best to make the best sort of media project that we can. I'm not going to say it's officially a film because I'm probably going to release it here on YouTube, and we're actually going to start doing more short films and stuff like that and release them here on our personal YouTube, in which any support given, whether it be here through our live streams or our Patreon, I mean, is always going to be appreciated, and credit will be given too, because we want to be successful and we want to thank the people who helped us get to this level. And also the fact that we're almost at 200,000 subscribers still blows me away, because
When we first met, I think you were at like 160.
Yeah, 160. So over the last year, we've gained about 40,000 subs and 50,000 about that neighborhood. So I'm very happy about that. Yeah, fist bump, fist bump, Nick.
I can come in there and punch you in the face.
/ fist bump.
Don't do that now. Don't do that. But Jesus. But overall, I'm happy that we've all had a chance to work together for as long as we have, and that and the fact that we've achieved as much as we have. This podcast, the film projects that you've been working on, and also a potential future project involving a certain room-wide VR experience.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
I wonder if you could, I don't know how wide the perimeter you could draw, but you could draw it into the hallway.
Depends on the game.
It really does.
Yeah,
there's certain
depends on the game.
games that go like that. There's one that I want to play for Halloween called Shattered Lights. You can actually do. You actually adjust the room size. There's a little valve thing that you turn. The smallest you can go is 1 meter, 1 meter by 1 meter.
Basically a closet.
Yeah, effectively. And then they have one that's literally 3.5 meters by 3.5 meters. So pretty good size, pretty decent size room. And you can actually roam around and just move forward, move back. And I played about the first few minutes of it. I got into this elevator, hit the switch to go down, and then as I went down there, I picked up the flashlight. All the lights started to flicker. I look over at the door, and then something slams its hand against the door, and I'm like, nope, I'm saving this for Halloween.
VR is epic.
I'm saving this for Halloween.
I love horror stuff.
Sorry.
Nick?
Not doing anything.
The amp just went.
The amp's starting to just buzz out a little
Well,
bit.
we got another one over there.
Yeah, we do. I'll see if it's something.
Cable.
Okay.
Yeah, it could just be the
cable.
cables.
It was the cable.
Was it
Sorry
loose?
about that.
I was like, what?
How did the cable get pulled out?
It didn't
It
get
did,
pulled
probably
out.
just got
It's just
bumped.
there was a short in it.
Yeah. I just got bumped or some shit.
Yeah, something happened.
Nothing worse.
It's okay though.
Nothing worse than troubleshooting cables, man. There's
Oh, trust me.
a nightmare.
Oh
some of
yeah, I know all about it because at the wrestling school, dude, you should see what we've done at the wrestling school.
I've seen footage of some of the stuff on there, and I was like, damn, you
Well-
guys got it looking good out there.
Well, here's the thing that we've that we've had to do. They cleared out. There used to be a guy living in the back of the School of Morton. He'd been living there for 3, maybe 4 years.
Yeah.
Maverick, big dude from New Jersey, talks like this all the time. He's got such a great personality, except he's kind of a jerk.
Like in character or
No,
like
for
it's
real.
how
This is how he talks all the time. No, really.
No,
I'm not joking.
I saw some characters when I was down there. I mean,
Yeah.
wrestling's a whole different extreme.
Yeah,
Man, I was. It was like me. I was like a ripe virgin walking into a fucking. So like I was just like, what the fuck is going on here, dude? Like, man, I mean, I've never seen a 13-year-old kid like jump up, spider monkey jumped on somebody's back and flip him around and land
that's
like an
Jungle
inch
Boy.
from her face.
Dude, that's Jungle Boy.
He landed like an inch from his face, and it was like, I was
That's
like,
Jungle Boy,
They
dude.
practice this shit hard.
Jungle Boy's a freak in nature.
Yeah.
Like he's his name's Jordan, and he's 13, and the kid is so agile, so quick, and he is so naturally athletic. Dude, he jumped over this one kid, did a full front flip from the apron all the way to the floor, turned around and super kicked him in the face.
See, I never
I mean,
watched
just
wrestling at
amazing.
all as a kid. It just never appealed to me. I didn't understand it or anything of it. Seeing it live, it was like an eye opener to like
It's a rope opera.
the art. you know?
Effectively, it's a rope
It's
opera.
I mean, they got a ring. That's their stage, and they play these characters and everything. But they're really wrestling. They're really doing these stunts. I mean, crazy, super dangerous stunts. And like, man, that slam that dude down on Legos at one time. That was
that was Draco.
I was like, and
slammed
y'all
JC
want
down.
to do this?
Yeah, well, it's for the glory, dude. Because the truth is, at one time, there was a guy. His name is Chase Owens. Chase Owens. He's from Bristol, Tennessee, and he started out just as this scrawny kid who didn't know a damn thing about wrestling, didn't play any athletics in high school. Yeah. All of a sudden, he goes to the School of Morton, and within 6 months of training, he's the best guy there. And then Ricky Morton called up New Japan Pro Wrestling. Next thing you know, he's got a plane ticket to Japan to audition for them. And not only does he make the cut, he gets into the Bullet Club. The best villain club, the best villain wrestler group on the show, and he's one of their main members.
That's pretty cool.
And he's so good too, because he's great on the microphone. He's got a great level of confidence. Got endurance for days. I mean, I've seen this guy work. Dude, he works like 40, 50-minute matches like no problem. Going up against like Kenta Kobashi, Okada.
It's a workout too. There. I mean, they're legit. A lot of them's bodybuilders down there. I mean,
some of them are. Well,
some of them are. I mean, some of them obviously are a little too young to be.
It depends on the style that you go with. You see, if you're a high flyer, you're more than likely like a small dude, like JC and Draco.
Okay.
They're high flyers. They're like more slimly built. They're muscular.
They're the ones that
strong
do
enough
the jumping a lot.
Yes, like lucha style,
acrobatic style.
Yeah, acrobatic style. Where then you get the bruisers, like Luscious Lawrence, who is literally chiseled out of friggin' marble. He's got the body of an Adonis.
I mean, it
and
looked
the
like
personality of a cinder block.
It looked like something I had literally seen on WWE, like chiseled, like they got the 6-pack where they're built in and shit like that. And it was so like, it's like, is that fake?
No.
Oh, that's baby oil.
Lawrence works his ass off.
He had baby oil.
No, that's literally his thing. Actually, his gimmick is that he actually has a baby oil like assistant who actually like walks up, like sprays the baby oil on him and like rubs it on. And his name is Mirror Boy, and he's like, Mirror Boy, give me my baby oil. And he sprays the baby oil on him. He's like, yeah, that's nice. He's like, give me my mirror. And he brings up his mirror. He sees. He's like.
But
is that a crack in my mirror? Is that a crack in my? No, that's a hair.
They had room for that. I think you guys about 50, 60 chairs.
Yeah.
How many?
Max capacity in that room is 60 people.
Everybody was in there just to kill that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Stomp his ass. Like, I was like,
Bunch of crazies.
Like, people
Bunch of
was like,
crazies like Donna. Donna at E-Step comes to every single one of our fucking things, and she is like a rabid fan. She's like, "You don't know who I am." Like, Jesus, woman.
Yeah, I mean, and they go off the crowd too, and it's a really alive thing. I mean,
I can only assume the fans want to be a part of the.
Sometimes when fans show up, some want to see the action, some want to be involved with the action, others want to be the action. Which we've had a few people who've tried to hop in the ring with our guys, and they say, "Oh, I'm trained, man. I'm trained. I don't care. Give me a bump." To which it's just like, you're not okay. Number one, you haven't signed a waiver. Number two, you're not an official member of the wrestling school. And number three,
get the fuck out.
How do we know you're actually trained?
Get in line.
Yeah, and
that's a get in line.
Well, and actually, I remember Draco actually had to tackle a guy and hold him down until James and Ryan got out there and literally dragged the guy out of the building and had to talk with him behind the building. So you can't do that crap. He's like, "Come on, man, I'm trained," and I'm sitting there listening. I'm just like, this guy's a freaking moron.
I want to be one of the guys in suit and tie. Like
it was probably
kicked out.
What he probably did was he got training through a six-pack. The more you drink, the more trained
liquid
you are.
courage. More liquid courage. Which actually, funny enough, we actually had a show at a bar in Asheville, North Carolina, at the Mothlight. Really nice place. We set the ring up out in the middle of the room where they had this stage off to the side. Dude, we had it to where it was one part rap show, one part wrestling show. The rappers got in the ring, like stood up on the ropes, like gestured like they were in a wrestling match and all that. And they were just like, "This is the best stage I've ever been on, man. Damn. Never had people actually build a stage for me." And the guys literally are so good at putting up the ring, they can put up a ring in like 15, 20 minutes.
Damn.
They get all the posts in there, all the cables, they get the boards in there, put the sheet, put the cover on, or put the pads on, the covering on, and then put the ring ropes on. 15, 20 minutes, dude. Sure. It's like a friggin' assembly line. It's like watching. Every time I see them doing it, I want to play that one song from Looney Tunes, Powerhouse. Da 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 da.
See, that's how I am with music stages. Like me, you give me the equipment, I will get to fucking work on that shit. Like I can build a stage like you wouldn't believe at a lot of, But I have my ideas of stages, and I've seen some weird buildings like the stage out there. That was a nightmare, to be honest, like on how the stage is set up and everything. But once you guys put together those bars and you have that little standing area and shit, I was like, "Oh, that's really cool," But I love building stages and stuff. Damn, I would love to have a stage truck one day. Just
like a U-Haul.
Yeah, it's basically it's a 16-foot trailer. And then you pull up to it, you park it, you let the trailer down, and you can leave the truck there if you want. I usually do because it's backup generator, and basically the whole damn thing assembles. The front slap comes down like a ramp to walk on it, and then as the other sides fold off and everything, the whole thing turns into a portable stage. Slipknot actually played a show on one of these one time.
Oh yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
That was a show that got canceled. No, I don't think it got canceled. I think it was a show, but it sold out, and there was thousands of people in the parking lot that couldn't get in. Shit. So you know what they did?
They just played in the parking lot.
They went out to the damn parking lot on one of those stages and played another show for all those thousands of people for free. I was like, "Get ass, dude!" I was like, "Yes, dude!" Right there. Woo! I'd be like,
man.
I don't know which one I would have rather seen, the one in the truck or the one on the stadium.
Jeez.
Yeah, imagine the people that
because
paid for
it's
the
a
stadium
different.
were like, "Oh,
well, it's a different stage, but." Their crew was just like, "All right, we're doing what again?"
They're like,
"We just packed up this $500,000 stage, and you want us to get it back out and set it back up for another show?" Like, I have been working for damn 16 hours right now. I'm about to die.
Yeah.
Get ready to work another 12.
I bet you the band manager. I don't know if the band manager, but he's just like, "Yeah, mate. Let me tell you one thing. You want me to do that? It's going to be double time. All right, double time. Fuck. Triple time for me, double time for them."
But they've hit number one on the charts not once but twice now. So I know they've got some budget. Plus Corey Taylor's side projects and stuff like that. He actually does a little bit of charity stuff, but he
Oh.
He's came around, man, because
That's-
he used to be an asshole.
Yeah, well, I think it was after
But
he
then
had
again,
his kid.
yeah.
After he had his kid, he sort of calmed down. But dude, he's actually going to be on the Nostalgia Critic here soon. The Nostalgia Critic
Really?
is doing a
Damn.
video about Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Yeah.
He's doing a review of their movie The Wall, and Corey Taylor is guest starring in that.
Oh, nice.
And
That's
I
really
heard
cool.
about that. I'm like, what? Corey Taylor is going to be in a Nostalgia Critic video?
Yeah.
That's wicked!
But you imagine having a stage that was already set up that just unfolds?
Oh, dude.
Like, just that ramps out and just flip the power switches on
Yeah.
and go?
Go to
that
it.
would be awesome.
That would be the shit.
That'd be a good business model.
we got,
People rent that truck.
You got people asking about memes.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right,
Checked up.
memes,
Sorry.
Nick. What's, how many we got?
Several.
Several? Okay. Good
Turn
response.
to the view.
Nate, you know what this is? What this is?
Oh,
Jesus.
I have a counter to this.
Yeah, it's called putting your fingers in the ears. What the fuck are you doing? That was a bit of a long one.
just listen to something else.
Okay, I got one for you. Y'all want to make me suffer? I'll make you suffer too. This is the song that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on, dear friends. Some people started singing without knowing what it was, and they will keep singing until the end because this is the song that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on, dear friends. Yes,
God, I
people
love it.
started singing without knowing what it was, and they will keep singing until the end because this is the song that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on.
We need to get a stripper pole that like comes down into this hole, whatever. He can just jump.
Oh
up and do
no!
it.
Don't give me any ideas.
Fucking dance on it.
Oh.
And he's gone. I think he went to go use the bathroom.
It is legitimate torture.
He literally just walked out of the stage. So
It is. Oh, it is legitimate torture. I don't even like this song to begin with, let alone the edited version. It's like,
Oh, thank God,
oh, it's over.
This is the
It's
song.
over.
No, I'm not gonna keep up that. I'm sorry, Nick.
I thought he was coming in here with that shit, so I barred the door.
I just first thing I saw in the booth whenever I started
you
singing
just see
it.
him hammering in boards. We gotta hold him out.
No, I just see him. First thing he does as soon as I start singing it, headphones off, throws them in the bag. Doesn't even want to put them on.
Yep.
It's one of the funniest things.
Jesus.
You know what they're about to play. We need to.
What we got next?
Next. I'm sorry. Indeed.
It's a trans turtle.
できるようになるわけです
That ass is deadly, girl. You shouldn't do that.
Alright, this is Kitsune's, and Kitsune's had not as big as my usual donations, but the Christmas season was rapidly...
No. Hey, any donation given is appreciated. Thank you, Kitsune.
Thank you.
When I met this strange lion, I had no fear of being alone. He said he had wisdom and power, and the most powerful should be king. With help from me and my roar, he and I could rule everything. I found his idea intriguing, though the most powerful lion was me. But the strange lion was scheming and had a friend I didn't see. That's how I got my scar when I let the guard. The lion would cure the snake's venom as long as I did what he said. But I lost control and enraged. I roared and destroyed them instead. I expected to be praised near and far for stopping that treacherous thing. But Mufasa just nicknamed me Scar. Then I knew that he shouldn't be king. That's when I became Scar. When I let
Is this this like a prequel Lion King that I've never heard of?
Yeah. I think it's set before.
Vengeance was spoiled when I lost the war. My second plan later succeeded. Mufasa was king no more. If it weren't for that miserable Simba, I have ruled Fried Rock to this day. But now it is time for Simba and Kion to pay. That's why
It's a bang or a pay?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
from when I led the god. Oh, that's why I still am Scar. And why I'll destroy the god.
How do you get scratched in the eye by a snake?
He got
I wonder
bit.
why Giant Fireland Scar wasn't a boss in any of the Kingdom Hearts games.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, we got like Shadow Ghost version of Scar, but I wanted to fight that version.
For real. You want another one?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Bring them on.
Krigor.
Kriegel!
Krigor is a level 90 orc warrior.
Is that a Warhammer 40k
Get
thing?
out this instance, you must pass through him.
Uh-oh. A fairy tale game? Yep.
Yeah, very good. It's been a while.
Now I've got a fire in my
I almost got a fairy tale tattoo. Like I considered it. I was really into the show back in the day.
Yeah.
Although,
I tried to get into it, but it got on my nerves after about 30 episodes. So just, why do you have to always say the same line?
That's why I watched the Japanese version.
they definitely over and over again pounded in the importance of friendship. And definitely,
Yeah. Nakamana! 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 Shut the fuck up.
I just watched the English dub stuff, but
I watched the
sets of the keys, like at conventions that you can buy, and they all look bitchin'.
Oh yeah, the Zodiac keys.
A little obnoxious. Yeah.
Yeah, the keys of the Zodiac. I like those too. I mean, and plus, see, I think Micah, his favorite is Urza. I don't know if I have a favorite, like female wizard. Let's see.
One more.
Sure, why not?
I'm trying to think of.
This one is from Master Hand, and it says, everyone's talking about the Area 51 raid this month, but don't let that distract you from the fact that Bowsette's birthday is on the 19th of this month.
Jacob would probably be. What's the metal dragon dude?
Oh, Gajiel?
Yeah, Jacob.
You call me Dragonborn. What does that mean? Hey, you wanted to play.
Don't be afraid.
And you're dead.
You're shalt not harm us. I just hear your
Can
voice.
you move? Of course not. Are you kidding me?
It's like I can actually see him laying there. He's just like, fear not. Your shout will not hurt us. Shit.
We have one more too.
Go for it.
This is from Bob Hibbs, and it says, I return with another me song. Have fun.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, the pauses. Yeah.
Oh, Brody. Just this dude's face.
Yeah, why is it this different screen? Oh, what the fuck's going on with that light over there?
I'm gonna pass out.
Hit that bulb or something.
That bulb in the lamp there. Oh.
I actually have like a bang head here, fucking stress reliever sign somewhere in there.
No, I think it's going off at like repeated.
Yeah,
flash.
it's just the LED bullshit. Just turn it off. Go ahead and think, because that shit's gonna get annoying. Didn't Mini Lad smash his head in with this one?
No.
Oh my God, is it still going? Jesus.
And he just killed himself. No, God. It's not over. I thought it was over for a second. So.
Volumetric lighting in this edition of After Effects.
Resurrect.
So realize the only thing about the camera angle from the front and the shelves is your donation trackers and stuff actually cover up the bottom left and bottom right shelves, which also have cool stuff on them.
Sorry. You can actually go to the no overlay one on... The inside of my mouth tastes like teeth.
This is what it usually looks like.
Now, what's that video you guys did? The reaction to what the cartoon?
As if movies. Yeah.
My mouth tastes like teeth.
I have brain damage.
What the?
It's a waffle who's had a few bites taken out of him at the top of his head, and he's just like, "Who wants some waffles?" No. I have brain damage. And then
What is this from?
ASDF movie, ASDF movie. There's 12 of them.
Oh no!
And it's effectively these 1 to 2 minute videos that are just like collections of original memes by Tom Scott. Oh no! Oh no!
It's a new thing.
A new thing. Oh, I like new things.
God.
Not this.
Why?
Are they donating? This, there needs to be like a higher donation limit for this now, like $20 to play this shit. Oh my God, that is kind of awful.
Worst.
Oh gosh. Okay, since this is reversed, allow me to speak in Pig Latin for you knuckle dragging troglodytes that would send shit like this. Okay, uye itchbay. Namcuff.
Love that from, what was it, Little Nicky, whatever, where they like played Chicago backwards. And
I command you in the name of Lucifer to spread the blood of the innocent. And those
If you play the second backwards, you can hear the devil speak.
What does it say forward? Jesus loves you. Jesus loves you.
Get the devil pop. Satan wants pop.
it's been a while since I've seen that movie.
Jesus.
David the Awesome says, "Speak Pig Latin all you want, Nate. It won't work."
Okay, uye.
Bob Higgs says these are quality memes.
Quality torture.
Nate, I didn't sign up for this.
Did any of us?
Kinda.
What is we backwards? Ew.
This is something from Freelancer Dan.
Freelancer Dan, thank you very much. Be gentle.
Please make it something better, different.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah!
Oh my God, you're so fucking cute!
Aaron.
Holy shit.
Aaron, Jesus Christ.
Hey again. How's it going?
So good. Blowjob, please.
Blowjob.
Quickly, shut up, Dan.
I need you to do it before Frank gets.
Dan, shut up!
Okay, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Hooray!
Oh, penis.
Oh, penis. Sorry, I forgot how this works. Oh, no, not Amy. No, Amy. This is the worst. Oh, no, not Amy. No! God damn you, Amy! Fuck!
Is this that like whatever simulator?
I think so.
Like,
Fuck yeah! Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it feels great.
Frank, hurry!
Frank.
I'm getting blowjob.
Oh,
I hear footsteps. Yeah, Frank, hurry up!
yes! So,
Damn.
So,
That's going, dude.
how's it going?
Feels like a gay friend. Oh my god, you're getting a blowjob right now. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I just, yeah, I feel great. Yeah. Thank you. It's been a real pleasure. Sorry, I spilled it on you when Frank was in here. Oh, my penis. Right.
Jesus. I've seen like
I wanna play that
some
now,
sort of like
for obvious
fucking
reasons.
simulator.
Kitsune sent something and said, "Here's something to soothe you after the Wii apocalypse."
Thank
Oh my
you.
God.
Thank you. Wait. Oh, okay. Yay.
I wonder if we can do that with our Callisculator.
This is
You get your chaoscilators? Yeah, dude. Oh, it's possible with those. You just have to get the right MIDI sequence on it, and you can do shit like this.
Yeah, we got like 3 of them.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Launchpad MIDI sequencers like this, dude, are the shit.
I'm assuming he's not making the music. Or with this, right? Like the music is just dubbed over this.
No, this is no, the MIDI sequence that he's playing right now, that's all like original sounds.
Oh, really?
Yes. You can create the
I'll have to
sounds.
show Ron that. He's going to be
See,
like,
well, the switches on the right side are all presets.
yeah. That's what ours have. They have the presets. So. I'll
Yeah,
have to show Ron this.
You have to switch back and forth on the fly.
yeah.
It'd take you longer to program it than anything.
Yeah, no shit.
That's all MIDI program.
This kind of shit probably takes hours.
Oh yeah.
Snake? Snake!
What the?
Are you ready?
Ah, super speed. Damn it!
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, the probably to me the best one I've ever seen is literally it's Beardy Man. Where Does Your Mind Go? Studio version. He literally plays it. If anything, type in Beardy Man. Where Does Your Mind Go? He literally has four chaoscilators.
I just know they're
And-
called Callisculators. That's how
Yeah.
Ron's been calling them. But
And
they're called something different.
yeah, the chaoscilators. He has 4 of them in a row, and a MIDI sequencer keyboard up here, a microphone, and literally every sound that he does is from his mouth. Even the dubstep sounds, which I don't know how he makes his throat do that. He does like tribal throat singing, and or that that sort of like that, yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that.
And he does that, and it's amazing to see how he's able to get these sounds and warp them around with the chaoscilators.
Yeah.
And he plays every time he plays that song, he does a different version every time he plays it live because it's literally an improv song.
Oh yeah.
God. Any more memes?
I'll tell you, you have to. It'd be hard to cover something like
Dusk
that.
sent something that actually looks like it might be new. It says magic on it.
Huh?
You're gonna make a decision now.
Oh. Oh yeah.
X. You like that one? Is it like X marks the spot, or you like hugs and kisses? I don't know. Which one is that one? That's a kiss, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, okay. So X, you like X? Do you love X? You committed to X? Sure. Oh, okay. All right. Well, there's nothing in that one. Good choice, Kevin. Really good choice, Kevin. Kevin chose the Xbox. And inside this one,
Is a PlayStation.
yeah, little buddy.
Hey!
His name is John Cena! Yeah. You guys have pets? No? Nobody?
It's not a real thing.
Yeah, no, that
Doesn't like large crowds.
there's a reason there's boxes
Kevin,
there.
I'm
It's,
glad,
just, it's lower than the top, the bottom of that box.
Yeah.
I love Derek. But what happens to things we love? Right? You know, I don't know. Things happen. Ta-da!
Where'd he go? Nowhere. Up my ass and around the corner.
I hope that wasn't supposed to be a magic trick.
It was.
It was.
Yep.
All right, what's next?
The Master Hand donated $25.
Woo! Master Hand.
Thank you, Master Dan.
Thank you very much.
I'd say that fish that he had up there wasn't even real. I'd say it was
It could
just,
be that thick.
I'd say it was, I don't know, something that looks like it and then just folds flat, tape it down to the bottom of the
Oh,
box.
the intro's ridiculously long.
Well, if you keep a fish in like those sealed bags for more than a few hours, they'll just fucking suffocate. And
Yeah, they'll die. There's not enough in the water to keep them alive.
Yeah, the air won't. The water doesn't have contact with air. It'll suffocate. What is this that we're listening to or watching?
Yeah, it's incredible. The intro is ridiculously
menu
long.
music or something.
Yes, but the intro is uncomfortably long. The Wii Shop music.
I feel like I'm going
There it goes
into
again.
a fucking elevator.
Yeah, that one's annoying because I keep anticipating it. When is it going to happen?
The answer, Nick, is never.
Fit perfectly in a Mass Effect 1 fucking elevator scene.
Yeah, especially when they get glitched and you don't know if they're supposed to stop or not, and it just keeps going
Yeah.
and going and going and going.
Only-
Like that one elevator on it was the one where you had to fight the Rachni. If you accidentally exited the elevator, if you paused while in the elevator going down, the game would just you would stay in
going.
the elevator forever.
Yeah,
God, was so annoying.
The mundaneness of this was only broken by the occasional times where Ashley Williams would bring up her racism. But
Casual racism.
casual racism, sorry. Yeah. Or, I'm sorry.
No, I mean-
Speciesism.
Speciest.
Yeah, she's the species. But
Jesus Christ.
I'm racist in WoW. I don't like orcs.
Hey, I'm racist in WoW too. I don't like humans.
I'm just kidding. No, it's so funny. The racism roleplay in WoW is so funny because like we had this guy in Goldshire the other day just
Jesus.
like preaching Trump stuff.
Oh,
We need to
God.
build that wall. We're gonna make them pay for it and everything like that. But he's talking about the wall that they're actually building for the Burning Crusade portal because they build like this little fortress wall thing to
Right.
keep the. He was talking about these illegal aliens coming from. Outland are trying to come through the portal. We need to stop this stuff. And it was just like it's all races against that. And
Well,
everybody bitches about the gnomes, and gnomes hate on dwarves. And
funny enough, Nick was in the game. He's actually seen the guy a few times. Make Azeroth great again.
oh yeah, I
Yeah,
can
it's
believe
a
it.
guild. Owners.
Oh, it is? Oh, no.
So there's multiple people I've seen that are in it.
Jesus H.
But oh yeah, it's so funny when you just put real life references in with your roleplay.
Yeah.
That's what I do on there.
I kind of try to do that with like Bright.
Actually, there.
I mean, it was kind of poorly delivered because if you do any kind of critical thinking with it, then
It
the world
falls apart.
doesn't really make any sense. But whatever.
But actually, Nick, what was it you said that the Alliance does one thing and I said the Horde does another, and mine was like something absolutely terrible.
I'm trying to remember.
But his was like the Alliance saves the day and gets the girl, or something like that, and mine was and the Horde fucks his wife while he watches from the closet like a.
Well, when it comes to a lot of the hardcore PvPers, I've noticed.
It's people who play like people who play Horde or people who put the milk in the bowl before their cereal.
Oh, yeah. and people who play Alliance are watch from the closet as the Horde fucks their wife.
I think I've heard this or somebody say this. You might have actually.
I might have said that to you. It's just you saying World of Warcraft got me thinking about that again.
Sorry, I gotta cut us off on this. Riki Tiki said, "People say Jesus H Christ. Does the H stand for hentai?"
No. I forget exactly where that exactly comes from. As far as I know, Jesus' middle name is Jesus the Christ.
If the middle initial is a T, then you can do Jesus tap dancing Christ.
That actually works.
All right, we got another meme?
Yes.
Cool.
Next
This
week.
is starting to get a little awkward.
This is the last one from me for today.
Thank you, Freelancer Dan. Let's see what we got. Uh-oh, another Game Grumps.
Hey, girl.
Look at her dance. Look, she's fucking like getting shoulders into it and stuff.
Oh, yeah, she's rubbing some
God.
stank on it for sure. Who? Oh, it's you, Smeef. What can I do for you, young man? The elder? Oh, no one.
No!
Wizard began collecting victims.
His eyes are blinking.
What?
My pot,
Master
please.
Sword? Well, I don't remember the details exactly, but long ago. Oh, prosperous people now say.
Yeah. This is too much information. I'm gonna have to slow down.
Yeah, I can't rub the funk on this.
I just thought it looked like she had like flour on her head. It doesn't look like hair.
Sorry, I forgot how to make a cake. I'm the village elder. I have nothing but wisdom, and she's like covered in butter.
Oh, no!
The Master Sword, a mighty blade forged against those with evil hearts, is one of them. People say that it now is sleeping deep in the forest. Do you understand the legend? Sure. Anyway, look for the elder.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not the elder? There must be someone in the village who knows where he is. Take care now, Smeef.
Link to the
Yeah,
best.
Oh, got it.
Sahasrara.
Here, let me help you with your pots.
Sahasrara.
Jesus Christ, Dan. I remember this one story that Dan told that absolutely pissed me off. It pissed me off because I was like, Dan, you lucky bastard. How could you wind up in that situation and not act on it?
No.
But now that thinking later on, I was just like, maybe, I don't know. But what the situation was, they were playing Mario, I think they were playing what's the Super Mario Sunshine. They're playing Super Mario Sunshine, and they were on the bird level where you had to walk up and down the wings of the bird and get the coins as it passes by. But anyway, Dan started telling us.
You like to play Super Mario Sunshine?
Shut up. Shut up, Psycho Mantis. Get back on the PlayStation. Anyway, yeah. So he starts telling the story. He's like, back when I lived in New York, I was like 26, 27 at the time. And I lived in this loft apartment building. And I was really good friends with these two very, very beautiful women. They were lesbians. They were a lesbian couple. And they'd come over to my place and hang out. We watch movies and stuff like that. We talk about music, and I'd tell them what bands I'm in. They come to my shows and all that and cheer me on. And then all of a sudden, I'm over at their house one day, and we're both sitting on the couch, and I'm sitting in between both of them. And all of a sudden, one of them leans over and puts their hand on my lap. To which I'm just like, I just look at that and I'm like, it's a bit awkward, but okay. Not going to say anything. And then she looks over at me and says, Dan, we've known you for a long time. And in his mind, he says, in my mind, there's a little man inside going, yes, yes, yes. And she said, me and Denise, we've been talking. Yes, yes, yes. We would actually like to invite you to an orgy. Yeah, wait, what? A little further than I was expecting, but okay. And then he said that apparently at this orgy there was going to be like a girl to guy ratio of like 4-to-1, and he would have been only like one of 4 guys amongst 12 women.
It would be funny if he had it backwards.
I know. That
would have been.
Wait.
It's like, which 4-to-1? The good one or the bad one?
The good one. It was the good. Dan confirmed it was the good one, and he said the only thing we need you to do. They were very safe about this. They said first we need you to go and get a blood test done, make sure you don't have any venereal diseases or anything like that, and check up, and just we got to clear it with everyone else. And if there's a majority vote for you to be in,
STIDs.
Yeah.
STDs.
Yeah.
STIDs.
But anyway, Dan says at the last minute he just said no, I can't do it. To which I'm just sitting there and I'm just like,
bruh.
Yeah, but you don't know until you see the partitioners.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
well,
the
no. He saw pictures of literally everyone who was involved, because in the selection process, if more than an amount of people didn't want you in, then you couldn't get in. And according to what he said, every single person who was going to this orgy was very attractive, including the guys. He's like, I'm not gay, but these guys were beautiful. To which I'm just like, Dan, okay, fair enough, whatever. But yeah, and I'm just thinking to myself, I was thinking to myself, gosh, what an idiot! Why wouldn't he? And then I thought about it, and I'm just like, what if all of a sudden you feel like a warm prodding sensation in between your butt cheeks, and you're like,
do they say what the ground rules are on the sword?
They did. He didn't specify on that, and I'm just I heard that, and I'm
like, is this a club?
Thinking about it more and more, and I'm just like, yeah,
No,
maybe
good.
not, maybe not. If that were me, I'd probably just be laying on the ground the entire time.
I was like, fuck.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you could have your own person, but sometimes you're just not comfortable with that. When I was in China, they as far as prostitution goes, their rules are way more lax, at least the unspoken rules and stuff. And so when we went into town, there were brothels
like
all over the
Vegas
place.
almost.
Yeah, I mean there were brothels everywhere there, and
I
wasn't dating anybody, but I didn't want to.
The number one place to go for where there's actually legalized prostitution in the American South? New Orleans.
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Is
In
it
fact,
just New Orleans, or is it all Louisiana?
New Orleans is really it's a special economic area.
The
French Quarter.
Yeah.
Well, New Orleans, the French Quarter is their bread and butter. That's where they make most of their money from. And there's music, there's art, there's.
Dr. Death says there was a guild on his old WoW realm called STDs, or Bind on Pickup.
Oh wow.
Damn. All right. Any more memes right now, Nick?
Yes, Speedwagon.
Speedwagon.
Volkswagen.
And he said, just in case anyone wondering why Mini Lad doesn't play with the band, I'll screw you alive.
I think I know the one he's going to show. Go ahead. It's probably going to be the one where him and Terrorizer going back and
Why
forth.
isn't Craig in the server? Because he doesn't play with us anymore.
Sad.
He went off and left us, and then started bad-mouthing us. So he doesn't play with us anymore. You can't have it every way.
This is true.
So we play with people who have not left our chat. We have a chat. He left it, and he doesn't want to play with us. That's a question for him, not us.
Probably copyright.
Nah.
I also have no idea. They're still playing Gmod?
Yeah.
Damn. For all this time, they're still playing Gmod? I mean, they kicked me out of all their chats, so I have no idea what the hell they're doing, so... Damn! I wasn't kicked. Oh my god, alright. So, just to clear up any drama, I'm going up and doing my own thing. And then alright, just to clear up some shit, I wasn't kicked. All they did was play Fortnite and Gmod and then talk shit about other YouTubers, so I said, fuck that. I broke away from that group. I'm doing my own thing. I've never felt better. My community's stronger than ever. I'm pulling more views than ever, and I'm personally a lot more happy as a human. So that's what happened. Anyways,
Why not invite Minnie? I'll tell you why. He doesn't play with us. He left. And then he decided on stream to badmouth myself and my friends. Well, mainly just my friends. And I didn't appreciate that. So, I don't play with the guy lately. Because he's going on his meme streams talking shit about us. It's not cool. So, that's why. Right?
So here's the thing.
Streamers.
Well, no, here's the thing. Minnie and Terrorizer used to be like the best of friends in terms of like them doing videos together. They used to just love doing their where they would read out Snapchats and stuff like that, and just enjoy making videos with one another. And then something happened about a few months. I think it was actually I went on and saw a Twitch thread or a Twitter thread where Craig and Brian Terrorizer, where they were both arguing, and effectively, here's how it went. Craig put a thing out there saying why he wasn't friends with them anymore, and he said it was because Brian. It was right after the death of his dog, and he said that Brian said to get over it. It's not that big of a deal, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And Brian retorted and said, that is a massive misrepresentation right there. I did not say that. And then Minnie said, yeah, you did. Verbatim, you said that, and I have other people here that can confirm it. And he's like, oh, you mean Vanos and so-and-so? Because they've confirmed with me. They know exactly what I said. And Brian responded with saying, Craig was, being, as Brian said, Craig was being a dick to some fans, and stated that as an excuse for him being a dick, he said, I'm sorry, my dog just recently passed away. I'm sorry, I'm not in the right mindset. Maybe I shouldn't have been here.
That's fucked up.
To which Brian said, dude, my dad died a few months ago, and you just got to learn to put stuff past you.
Yeah.
And to which, people handle grief differently. Yeah. Every person handles grief differently. For me, when it came to my grandparents dying, when my grandmother died, it was very difficult for me. It was like 2 or 3 months, I was just a mope. And then when my granddad died, a few years later, it wasn't that difficult for me because I learned how to handle the grief more because I had gone through it, and I knew what tracks to take to get through my depression and to get over my sadness. Because as much as we want the world to pause for a moment and just give us a moment to grieve, the world does not stop turning for our benefit. It never does, and it never will. And the fact that people expect it to is a little bit selfish. Look, everyone goes through loss. Some more than others. Some never had anything to begin with. And I'm not saying that Craig was right for acting the way he did, but the loss that Brian experienced was a lot more of a heart-wrenching thing, because losing a pet is one thing. I've lost when Rusty passed away. My mom's red Italian Greyhound. He was always a dog that needed to be taken care of, and I had to take care of him a lot. And having to carry him while a tumor was literally pressing his brain to where he was like shaking constantly and acting erratically and pissing himself all the time, and the only relief that we could give him was to give him a injection of a painkiller rectally. And getting him home and seeing him try to walk around, take 2 steps and then fall down, take 2 more steps and fall down. Physically capable, but not having everything there to work his motor functions. And then having to hold him whenever they gave him the injection was a very hard thing to witness. And hearing him give that last whimper was a very hard thing to do. And seeing that was just, it was a very traumatic thing for me. But again, if I were to lose my dad tomorrow, I don't know if y'all would see me on the channel for a while. Because as much as I've had problems with my dad, as much as knockdown dragouts and as many fights as we've had, he's still my dad. And I still love him, and I still want him to be here, and so we can keep nagging at each other and talking shit to each other, because that's kind of what we do. Because ever since I grew up enough to where I know more than him now, he's sort of become a curmudgeon and a grumpy old man around me. He's effectively turned into Walter Matthau.
You don't know nothing, boy.
Exactly. Well, I still trust my dad to build a house more than me, because my dad is a jack of all trades. He can build you a house from the ground up. Yeah. But Craig acting that way, I think the biggest thing that would benefit those two is if they just sat down and talked, because they're good friends. And I think unequivocally just emotions and personal grievances get in the way of great things happening. There's some stuff that is gone beyond repair.
And based on what I saw there, it still seemed fairly cordial.
We go back to Fairy Tale and talk about how important friendship is.
Oh, shit. Of course, Jacob.
But seriously, I've had a lot of run-ins with friends and stuff, and sometimes you just have to kind of put it behind you and forgive each other and move on. I mean, yeah, a lot of people hold principles so high, or in their pride, that I'm just like, man, if you just let some of that stuff go, man, people make mistakes, people say dumb shit sometimes, and
absolutely,
just because people do shit once or twice or 3 times, hell, people fuck up all the time. I fuck up all the time. You know, it's
I'm not immune to that.
I mean, hell, there's been times I have to fuck up and kiss ass for weeks, you know, try to make friends back, and it's like,
while we're on this melanchopic mood, melancholic. What did I say? Melanchopic. Melancholic mood.
Melantopic. Are we talking about watermelons here?
No. Today is 9/11.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Can't
and
believe
that's
that
another
shit was
thing about
18 years ago.
I was in 8th grade. I remember exactly where I was. I was in 8th grade, first class, and I was sitting there, and then the announcement came over the PA, and right when we turned on the TV is when the second plane hit. Mm-hmm. I remember that as vivid as anything.
I was in 6th grade, and we got evacuated that day. They brought us all to the gym, and when the gym, they had the big projector playing it and stuff while people were getting their kids. Parents were traffic was crazy and stuff. Parents are running in there grabbing their kids because the whole world was in terror.
Yeah, we didn't evacuate, but my mom did come and pick me up.
Yeah, it was mandatory. Everybody had to come pick their kids up that day. Work was letting out. Everybody's jobs were just like, fuck it. I don't quit my job.
Dude, the lines at the gas stations were ridiculous. Well, I mean, people getting gas.
I wasn't old enough to buy it, but I remember them hassling over it.
I was in 5th grade. We were living in Germany because Ron was stationed at the and he, of course, was stationed there as the anti-terrorism officer.
Shit!
When that happened, I don't think we really saw him for the first 3 days after 9/11. He was just fucking. I mean, I think he might have came home for a few hours of sleep or whatever, but he was
around the clock just working.
His fucking stack
down
of work
everything
to the fucking roof.
Yeah, one of my teachers, my homeroom teacher, actually had family that lived in those towers.
New York, yeah.
Luckily, they were not in there when they were happening. They were at work elsewhere.
Same thing with my high school, my 8th grade gym coach, Mr. Kern. His daughter was a tour guide for the World Trade Center, and she pretty much worked every day. She never got a break, and thankfully she got out. She evacuated after the first the first plane hit. And
so have you been to Ground Zero?
Yes.
All right. So you know how massive that is, and you know how massively tall.
Oh, dude, I was there. I went there.
Get that vertigo. Looking up. You're like,
I went there.
Crap.
I went there a year before it happened.
Oh wow.
I went into the buildings about. I think it was June. Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah, it was June 2000. It was June 2000. So about 15 months before it happened.
Yeah.
Because it was a.
Imagine the
trip.
Traffic that happened that day. Because traffic's already hell on earth there anyway. And they shut all the subway stations down. They shut the airport down. They shut everything.
They closed
down.
the bridges.
People were just you're screwed.
There's some that runs through my mind every now and again. Just running through scenarios and stuff. That as terrible as that shit was, losing 3,000 people. Imagine if the terrorists had been just a little bit smarter and had driven the plane down to at an angle or down into the bottom of the building or something
and it would have fell sideways.
Where there would have been no an hour or whatever it was for people to as many people that could get out of the area.
The total people that were in the first tower when it hit was around. Actually, no, it was around 4,200 people were in the building at that time.
And
if it would have hit at the bottom and would have fallen over
sideways, it would have taken out 10, 12 blocks. I don't know, 12 blocks, but I don't know how.
It would have definitely taken out. I think the rest of the World Trade.
The design of it, I don't think it'd be possible to knock that building over. It's completely hurricane. It's a category.
It was a Category 4
hurricane proof.
Right.
I mean,
it would be.
But if you take all the supports or a lot of the supports out on one side,
especially if
it's going to buckle.
If you, as long as the 4 main support columns are intact when the initial impact is hit, if you hit 2 of those, on one side, basic physics demands that it will topple over.
Yeah.
No matter how big the building is, where they hit at the top, that's what effectively caused it to effectively pancake. They call that I think in architecture they call that pancaking whenever the buildings floor by floor collapse on top of one another.
Yeah.
And that's effectively what happened. Same thing what happened with Tower 2, because it was more in the middle of the building. It was closer to the middle band on the building, and when that happened, that was something that
was the first one to go.
The second one that got hit was the first one to fall down.
Yeah.
And you actually could see how it went. The upper part of the building was actually still intact whenever it started to fall down, but then whenever the impact came down, that's when the rest of it pancaked down top of it, and then the second tower fell more down from the top down.
Yeah, Taco Racers asking us how the towers fell anyway after the plane. It basically, all of the jet fuel and stuff that pretty much exploded inside once the plane hit. That pretty much burned everything.
But I'm gonna keep this conspiracy.
I don't.
The whole jet fuel melts steel beams. Here's the thing: it doesn't have to melt steel beams.
It just has to weaken them.
Exactly.
You basically.
Which Nick, if you will, please look up the jet fuel can't melt steel beams conspiracy debunked, because. Anyone and everyone who says that.
I've watched quite a bit of stuff. My thing is more or less the building that collapsed on its own.
The steel beams aren't the only part of the. The steel beams aren't the only part of the structure. You got welds and bolts and stuff that they might not have the strength of solid steel.
You take out a couple foundations.
Yeah, here it is. It's going to create a domino effect. For the undying 9/11 moronic jet fuel argument. I'll send this to you, Nick. Hold on. Here, let me see if I can post it in the actual URL of the video.
The fact that they were able to take airplane hits like that and stay standing for as long as they did is amazing in and of itself.
URL of the video. Okay.
It's just I don't know. When it comes to the whole thing, I feel like I just feel like it was more than just the airplane. I feel like, I don't argue that it's a terrorist attack for sure. I mean, you got to be don't have to be an idiot to figure that one out.
Yeah, this right here.
So I am taking time out of my busy day to try to put to rest one of the more moronic things I have seen on the internet lately, and that's saying something. Through my Facebook feed, I saw yet again that old, tired argument with that question. Jet fuel only burns at 1,500 degrees, and since steel melts at 2,700 degrees, 9/11 was a conspiracy. I am so sick and tired of this argument. Now, I am not going to make any claims to what did or did not happen. If it was conspiracy, I do not care. What I am upset about is the retarded metallurgical things that you guys are saying. I'm not arguing the facts. Jet fuel does in fact burn at 1,500 degrees. Steel will start melting, some carbon steels, at 2,300 degrees. But if you hold this up as a reason for conspiracy, you are an idiot. This is a piece of half-inch thick steel, A36 structural steel designed for structures. This is a 250-pound animal. I'm going to put this steel in the back of this animal, and I'm going to lift this 250-pound animal with this bar of steel. Do you see how the structural steel is supporting this animal? Okay. There. Now, in my furnace, I have an identical piece of half-inch bar of steel, just like this. And it's going to be around 1,800 degrees, just 300 more than jet fuel, when it comes out. And I want you to see something very interesting. Go into the forge. It's very hot, but not melted. Obviously, it is not melted. I put this in the oven. Now watch this. I'm going to take my pinky finger, half-inch solid steel. Check it out. It's a freaking noodle. Your argument is invalid. Get over it. Find a job.
Jesus.
That's pretty cool. I like that. That's pretty cool.
See? Jesus. I've had people who have been trying to do the 9/11 truthers. Look, I'm not going to pretend or confirm nor deny whether there was a conspiracy around 9/11. All I know is that if you're going to try and put theories forward, try and put forward smart ones.
Yeah,
okay,
that's why I usually don't even talk about like that. I'm confused, and it's just a question of I don't know exactly what. I mean, it's kind of one of those weird things because I mean that's a big building, and
what is the counter argument that they hit it with a cruise missile? I mean,
that they said that where there's very little footage of the first one, they obviously hit it with a cruise missile. Never mind the fact that the fire training people that were filming a fire training video on how to put out a fire in the middle of the street, they pan the camera around and lo and behold, what do you see? American Flight 11.
I'm about to say I know there's not that much footage, but there's still plenty of footage of that plane hitting.
Yeah, and then
there's probably about 1.5 billion security cameras.
The only one that doesn't have definite security footage is the one that hit the Pentagon.
Yeah,
that
one didn't have.
Well, no, I have actually.
They took it all. They took all the footage.
There is an image of it. It's really like pixelated and stuff.
Yeah, and they cut
frames.
They cut out so many frames of it that you can't see exactly what it is.
It's really heavily flamed.
It shows a little blur, and then it shows.
You do see a couple
empty,
frames of like it flying over the parking lot, and bam.
Like the reason we know the flames are there because it didn't even show the particles go flying or anything like that. It was just here
and then
destroyed. Aftermath, and
then of course there was United 93, which is the only one that did not reach its destination, and instead had the passengers fight back.
Yeah.
Which, there you go. I mean, if anything,
they had some of the phone calls recorded from that from
and
the
people
airplane
knew
that was going out.
the people on the plane knew that this was not going to end well no matter what.
Yeah.
So they had to do something, and they did. I mean, I salute all the people on board. Like Todd Beamer, his whole thing. Come on, guys, let's roll. You actually hear him in the background of one of the phone calls saying that. And there's actually a movie that came out called United 93 by Paul Greengrass. Camera work's a little shoddy because it's Paul Greengrass. I mean, the guy loves handheld, which I don't mind handheld, but an overexposure to it and the shakiness can be used effectively, but it can be a little nauseating. But that is still, to me, like one of the best thriller films, and the fact that as accurately as it's portrayed by what happened on the black box, from what they pulled from the black box audio, from what they pulled from all the phone calls, and from what they pulled from all the reports and everything, that's about as accurate as it gets, and it's a great film. Really, it is a great film, and.
Too bad that most of the terrorists were Saudi Arabians, and we're still fucking goddamn best friends with Saudi Arabia. But
that's the thing. I mean,
I understand it's just geopolitics to take into consideration, but this fucking Iran bashing and stuff that happens. But
Iran, Iraq,
goddamn,
throw the Middle East under the bus. Yeah, here's the thing. I don't have any problems personally with the Middle East. People in the Middle East may have a problem with me, but I don't know them, and why should I care? Because, people can yell death to America all they want. There's people in our own country yelling death to America.
Yeah, I mean, I recognize that people have grievances in the U.S. And so...
I have problems with my country, but I'm not going to, claim I want to kill everyone in it. No, that's stupid. Why would I do that? Why would anyone do that living in this country? That very thing that you're saying is
I mean, you have to look at a lot of these situations with objectivity and stuff, and obviously emotions.
Well, apply logic instead of emotion. I mean, emotion. Everyone was emotional after 9/11. Everyone wanted to go after who was responsible. Yeah. Well, guess what? We went after him, and we got him.
Yet here we are, 9 years later, still in Afghanistan.
Yep. Now, proxy wars and all that nonsense. It's Vietnam all over again.
All terrorism control.
What are we at?
If you outweigh them, then maybe they'll go away, but I don't think
how long have we been going for?
128.
128, so we're about an hour and a half in. So, I'm happy with I'm happy with my country where we stand right now in certain cases, but overall there's still improvements that can always be made. Always. But
I think we're going through a big time of change. Whether you
blow smoke over there, it catches the light.
Whether you like Trump or you hate him, I think ultimately he's a catalyst to a lot of changes that are going to be breaking away from the acceptance of just the norms of your typical standard, whatever those big media guys, whatever they say, that's the truth.
I don't like that. I don't like when you see when somebody tells me that their news source is any of the major news outlets. I immediately like put my hand in my head and I shake my head. I wish I could face palm 3 times.
You'll laugh at my news source.
What's that?
Last week tonight with John Oliver.
No, well, I think
I watch him so much.
He's funny. He's funny, but he's still very skewed.
No, yeah.
It's
Aren't they all?
I mean, not really. There's some out there that I get my sources from that actually are.
I definitely don't get it from the local news.
I mainly stick with like PBS and BBC. At least BBC's a little less controversial with US stuff.
I use people who are online. I use Tim Pool. He tries to call everything down the middle. I also dig Phil DeFranco. He tries his best to call everything down the middle.
I watch a few of those things.
And I also look at more extreme sources. I mean, I used to watch the Young Turks a lot when I was younger, but as I've gotten older and I've grown more and more disillusioned, and hearing Hassan Piker literally say, America deserved 9/11, my friend, I hope you never work in news again after saying that. I hope you never work in news again, and I hope you never, ever gain anything else in this world. If anything, live off the wallet of your uncle, okay? Because that's all you're doing. Yeah, that's really all you're doing. And then as for more extreme sources, I mean, people want to call the Daily Wire extreme and all that, but some of the stuff they say actually rings true. Because I research whatever is coming up, and I see what works and what doesn't work. And if something doesn't make sense to me, for instance. You want to know when I first stopped watching mainstream media, like MSNBC, CNN, was during the whole Trayvon Martin thing. Horrible thing. Like, any kind of death like that can be avoided. Was the guy wrong for following him? Absolutely. But what CNN and MSNBC did was they altered the 911 phone call that the guy made to report in Trayvon Martin. And then, when they got a photo of the guy who did the thing, they lightened him up to make him look Caucasian, when in fact he was half Latino. And when they do stuff like that, it just makes me go, they're literally trying their damnedest to incite violence. Yeah. They're trying to incite
it's good ratings.
Yeah, it's all about ratings, and they go by. I mean, that's
I know, and it's
very annoying. It's very annoying. But I see a lot of that going away because simply now that the public, like us, have more access to channels and YouTube stuff, that the people are going to have more of the voice than just the mainstream media.
But even like YouTube is trying to now they're trying to recommend because
the big
CNN,
networks.
MSNBC, Fox, they all have their YouTube channels now, and so now they're authoritative nenews. So they get the recommendations as opposed to
instead of Tim Pool Tim Pool talking about because I try to go to pop culture news sometimes too. For instance, have you all heard about the Zoe Quinn situation? Mm-hmm. What's happened with her recently?
I've not.
You know about Zoe Quinn, right? You've heard of her? Okay. Have you heard of Gamergate?
I have not. I think so. Yeah. Is that it's like the sexual harassment type thing.
Yeah. Well, she wanted to paint it that way. Here's what happened. Zoe Quinn was a video game developer. A lot of people said she was very talented. She made a game called Depression Quest, played it, not that good, but hey, to each their own. Anyone who finds that game appealing, more power to you. I just didn't find it that appealing. Anyway, she is involved with this one company, and effectively, she sleeps her way to the top, as verified through multiple emails, multiple personal DMs online and everything. And she tries to claim sexual harassment. She tries to claim that she's the victim in all this. And then the internet effectively does the wrong thing. Instead of just letting the ships run their course and go where they may, instead they blow in a hurricane worth of news media attention onto it by doxing the girl.
Shit.
And I'm just like, you idiots! You are literally giving her everything she wants, but they do it anyway. And then next thing you know, she's the perennial victim. And then after that, you get the introduction of Anita Sarkeesian. You get the introduction of all these game journalists who come forward and are in full support of developers and game journalists.
Thing in our class about women in the industry is what it was.
Yeah.
And it was basically about sexual harassment and stuff, and how it's used a lot in your media stuff, especially video game designers. They said 98% of video game designers are male. And
the point being?
So the women that's trying to break into it, this is normal shit that they're aware of. That's why there's so much paperwork and stuff. And
but here's the thing,
you're not even allowed to date in a lot of these communities or anything.
Here's the thing, though. Zoe was manipulative, and she claimed sexual harassment against this one guy who created a game called A Night in the Woods, very popular game. And the guy said that they were false, but everyone believed her first.
Yeah.
And then the guy killed himself.
Oh shit.
And now they've revealed through personal DMs that Zoe was ultra aggressive with this guy and was very mean to him, very mean to him while they were dating and everything.
Because what it comes down to is blackmail. The end of it comes into, you sleep with them. That's not even the issue. It's the issue is they blackmail for sleeping with them.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this guy's been doing this. If you fuck with me, I'm gonna file sexual harassment, blah blah blah. I got the DMs to prove it, all that shit.
And
until they see the other side that you haven't deleted.
Well, but here's the problem. So many people are so quick to jump on the gun. Instead of seeing both sides of the story, they take the first scoop.
It's usually the first scoop that wins.
Yeah, and that's nonsense.
Yeah.
Because if that's how it worked in trial, then guess what? All these people would be in jail right now for just accusations. It's like, look, I could accuse a lot of people of a lot of things, but if I don't have evidence, nothing's going anywhere.
Yeah.
That's basically how the law works.
I mean, the media doesn't see it that way.
They're
don't. All about exposing people and trying to put stuff like. I disagree with a lot of that dumb shit.
Not every male at the head of a company is not Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't treat them as such. Generalization. Okay, if people are going to live through generalizations, then how about I judge... How about I judge all Christians like they're the Westboro Baptist Church? How about I judge all atheists like they're Joseph Stalin? How about I judge all women like they're Elizabeth of the House of Bathory, the most prolific female serial killer in history? How about that? How about I judge all men as though they're John Wayne Gacy? There we go.
Pigs.
Or how about I judge all animals like that one deer that ran out in the middle of the road and killed my uncle. How about that?
I will judge all orcs as horde, though.
No, fair enough.
I just want to address Daniel Scott here in the chat. I don't know if to be clear, I'm not saying that I don't have a problem with Saudi Arabians. The citizens are. My issue is with the government of Saudi Arabia and how they treat their people and how.
It's true. Human rights violations are happening in Saudi Arabia.
I'm fine with Saudi Arabian people. I'm
for
fine
instance,
with Iranian people.
For instance, that one journalist that got killed, because not only did he get killed, he got tortured for I think it was a week, and then they chopped him up into little pieces and fed him to dogs. That's messed up, man.
I mean, and we're still fucking working with the Saudi. I mean, I know. There are certain things you're not gonna burn all your bridges because of certain instances, especially when they want to revolve around, one or two people or something like that. But yeah, at some point you have to take some sort of moral.
A moral stance. You have to take a moral stance when it comes to certain things. However, you have to judge. Will this, in the long run, is this a good idea? And as much as oh god, we can go on and on about this crap.
Look at it from this perspective. We give Iran a bunch of military hardware back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
And then Iran turns against us and uses our military. Then we give Iraq our military equipment so they can go fight Iran. And then Iraq, we go to war with Iraq afterwards, and we have to fight these countries that aren't equipment. Now we're selling fucking Apache helicopters and M1 Abrams and F-15s to Saudi Arabia. What point are we going to end up having to go to war with them? I mean,
well, it's just like Afghanistan. We trained at the Afghanistan. We trained. Here's the thing. We trained ISIS We trained the people who are at the head, or who are at the head of the Taliban.
We gave them the weapons to fight off like the Soviets during the 80s.
Yeah, and we taught them how to make IEDs.
Yeah, and then did no follow up, try to improve
their infrastructure or anything.
After the war's over, nobody fucking.
We could have done that, and we could have launched Afghanistan into the 21st century.
Well, part of it, to be fair, again, this is it comes down to a lot of cultural differences and stuff.
Well, cultural differences. There's still economic areas in this country. For instance, the Amish. Mm-hmm. The Amish are very religious and have their own communes and their own private land that they choose to do with however they please, and they're wealthy enough to where they don't have to worry about this stuff, because through all their physical labor and their penny pinching and their saving, then they actually have the money to pretty much be financially solvent until the end of time, effectively, if they keep it up. Same thing could happen with certain say in certain communes in Afghanistan, if people wanted to still live as they put it, as God intended. Live
primitive.
Not primitive. They don't have to be fully primitive, but live a pious life with very minimal technology and very minimal temptations. That can be their choice if they want to do that. And within that economic area, they shouldn't be charged for the same taxes as people who live in cities and take advantage of like plumbing and utilities and stuff like that. And that's how it should be. However, our country didn't do anything like that. Instead, we want to donate $100,000 to building new schools in these communes in Afghanistan. What did they say? They said no. They said no after donating $150 million for a war effort. But in terms of education, nope. $100,000 for education? No. Why would you do that?
The thing about it is education is the thing that will ultimately end terrorism. It's going to take a long time, but if you can educate people young.
Well, did you see the movie Charlie Wilson?
Yes, I did. Yeah. That's actually that whole thing. And also, not only that, but there was also have you heard of Boko Haram?
I have that in Nigeria, right?
Yes. Yeah. Boko Haram is a wing of ISIS that goes into villages that have Western education centers. Mm-hmm. They burn them down and kidnap the women of that village and keep them as sex slaves to literally keep breeding and make more child soldiers.
Yeah.
That's how they operate. And the sooner that groups like that are gone from this earth, the better off humanity will be.
I think they're on
because we don't need that kind of stuff in this world, man. That's evil. That is pure evil. At its very core.
On a bright side, I'm very hopeful for the future. I think we're, even as terrible things that happen now, we're in the most peaceful time of our existence.
We're in a fairly peaceful time. I mean, there's
things as technology grows, it'll become and economies become more intertwined. It becomes less and less reasonable to go to war. I mean, there's a reason why we have a lot of big
I think communication is the big thing. True communication where we're actually able to talk to one another versus back in the day, it was just pretty much just banging stones together and hoping everyone else understood.
That's why like voices like CNN and Fox and MSNBC, why people just believed them, because before social media and stuff, there was no other real outlet to hear people. You got the basically all the sound bites of people like war journalists and stuff that would maybe you might get a little bit of exposure to what some of these other places in the world are like, but by and large it's pretty much just what these organizations say it is. Unless you visit
you have to take their word for it, which is nonsense.
That's where a lot of that propaganda and stuff comes in. That just makes making changes so much more fucking taxing and
it makes everything more
but
difficult.
I am hopeful.
I'm hopeful too. I mean, never give up on the idea that things can work out for the best. That's something my granddad always said. We got any more memes, Nick? Okay, play them up, and we'll probably end the stream after that.
Smart big boy donated.
Thank you, smart big boy.
Smart big boy.
Smart the big boy.
Take my arm, little boy! Touch me and I sue you for sexual harassment. That's not no little shit. Better
Wait, was that New York?
All right.
Was that New York? Holy hell! I haven't seen New York in like
Smart kid.
Smart kid. Touch me and I'll sue you for sexual harassment. What the fuck? Good stuff. All right, what's next?
Bro man donated said, hope things go well for you, man. The things you talk about really matter, and I can appreciate the things you and the crew do. Thank you. Now, careful about technology in this video.
Okay.
It's
Oh God, VR chat.
I don't.
Literally scared him to death.
God, this is what technology does to you.
And Freelancer Dio donated and said, you thought it was done, but it was I, Dio.
There's so many freelancers.
No. Oh no.
What the hell?
Whoop!
That would be awesome.
All of a sudden, you just hear Sa Warudo.
Everybody would simultaneously be like, oh my god!
All right, any more memes?
Oh, that's it.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for tuning in to this. This was an interesting episode, and it's Jacob's first time ever seeing the set like this.
I like this.
Oh yeah, I like this too. I mean, this setup is actually pretty damn cool.
Pretty comfy.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
able to
yeah.
get a lot more stuff. We
I like it because I can roll.
shelves too.
Yeah,
I
roll
can
around.
roll
I
around.
have to get another board back here so I can roll
Yeah.
back a little bit more.
Yeah,
It's
or
okay.
I mean, I can push the desk forward a little bit. We got some space to push forward.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, hey, this is a pretty damn good setup, man. And also, I might be able to get us more comfortable like gaming chairs for actually a little bit cheaper. They're not that expensive, but
You get 'em for like
And we
$50
could put
on Amazon.
platforms back here so we can just use regular chairs if we want to. But yeah,
yeah, but anyway, yeah,
I don't want to bring my gaming chair and get make
No,
you guys
no,
feel,
no.
Make you guys feel jealous. So.
no, I won't feel jealous. I'll just steal
say,
it
I
from
got-
you.
I got my
I'll
own
steal it
gaming
from
I
you.
chair.
start doing it more.
Well, and here's the thing. Everyone in this room, except for me, has a gaming chair. Nick just got his from his dad's house,
Hell yeah.
and it's a badass chair.
Nice.
It is very nice. And, yeah,
We'll get you one soon.
You guys want to see my gaming chair? Come to my gaming streams this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Y'all can tune in and see him.
Shameless plug.
I don't give a fuck.
I love gaming chairs. I think they're really cool.
They're
And just-
comfy.
Yep.
They're very
Dude.
comfy.
Yeah.
But
A lot
Mine
of-
does the PewDiePie thing too.
where it lays
It goes
flat
all
back.
the
Oh.
way back.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what mine
But
is.
Yes, PewDiePie. My chair can do that.
I
Yeah.
always feel like I'm gonna fall over when I do that shit.
Nah, well, I remember seeing Chad's face because Chad never sat in one like that. He's like, and I leaned down. I'm like, "Are you ready?" He's like, "For what?" I pulled the lever and I pulled the chair back, and he's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Shit.
Oh, this is nice." And I set him back
Totally
up.
impractical, but
And
nah.
no, he's just like he's sitting there. He's just like, "Holy crap!"
It's very practical for when you're rendering a video and want to take a nap. real
That's
quick.
true.
This
Yep.
is true.
I've
This
started
is
getting
true.
naps in mine already. Like, I just kind of like
What kind
got
do
the
you get?
neck pillow and the lower
You
back
get,
is kind of
do you
Lucky
get like,
y'all.
do you get like
Lucky
mine,
y'all.
like a DX?
It's not a DX racer. It's like a Chinese off-brand from Amazon, but it works very well
Yeah.
and feels about the same in my opinion.
I would have gotten the Chinese brand too if
Yeah.
I didn't get this shit for free.
Well, of
So,
course,
yeah.
yeah. Which
Mine was like $90, $100 or something like that.
yeah,
so
that's kind of the one I'm looking at. Not too
And-
expensive.
seems to be about the same thing in my opinion. I'd say
Yeah.
I'd say yours comes with a warranty and all kinds of stuff.
the most of the price on that is the brand.
Yeah.
It's, you
Well, of course,
it's
yeah,
like
it's-
Nike.
Yeah, DX Racer. Plus, it's a monster. It's a monster
Yeah, it's a
special.
special one. So
Yeah,
Yep.
so-
they're making fewer of them, so it's gonna cost.
Yeah,
more,
I'd like
so.
to have one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But anyway, everybody, thank you all so much for tuning in. And once again, if you want to see more from us, hit that little subscribe button down there, ring that bell to stay notified. And I guess we'll see you next week here on the Renegades Ramble podcast. Signing off, I'm Nate,
I am Roan.
Jacob.
and we will see you all.
Nick.
Oh wait, yep, that's right.
And
Nick in the editing.
We
or
always
the,
forget about
editing
Nick.
bay.
Yeah, in the
He's-
back there in the producer's booth.
The control room.
Yeah,
You need
control
to
room,
do the
there you
Dark
go.
Templar and say, "I'm here in the shadows."
I am here in the shadows.
From the shadows.
There we go.
No, Reaper, where's he at?
Die, die, die.